So now here in the generate, that actually came out a lot, I mean, a lot cleaner. I mean, that's a lot cleaner of an image. There's our original, or what we copied from Civic. Check that out. I mean, that's a really, really good picture. I mean, look at the skin tone on the human hand down there. That is insane. So my previous video, I showed you how to install ComfyUI step by step as a standalone UI on your computer running it locally. If you haven't checked out that video, you might want to go check that out. I will leave the links in the description to everything that you need to do this. But like Anaconda, Bit, there's a couple of steps that you need to do. You might need to go at least start that over on the from the other video with the links and watch to that point and then come back and watch this video. I'm one in ones though. I don't want you to go back and forth between a lot of my videos. I want you to watch my new videos, but I'm not trying to send you back over so I'm getting my watch hours. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just not going to go over everything in every one of my videos. I do have my starting point video out there. I am very detailed. I go through step by step. So what we're going to do with this one here is we have Comfy installed, right? Sometimes it can be daunting or it can get confusing a little bit in there. So I'm going to go through, you can use Pinocchio, you can use, there's a couple of different UI bases that you can do. You can run this stuff on Docker if you're running any LLMs. So we're going to install Swarm. That's what we're going to do here. So I'll leave a link to Swarm down below. And I want to use this as my UI and get everything in here. So you can come down here, you can read everything. You can try Google Colab or Run Pod. So you got installing on Windows, you got installing on Windows manually, you got installing on Linux manually, Mac, and then down here with Docker. So what we're going to do, we're going to come back up to Windows because I'm on Windows 11 24H2 64-bit Windows. So what I'm going to do is come here, and the first thing we want to do is we want to go to .NET 8 SDX. So once you're here, you have different versions. The newest version is already here. So you have for Linux, you have for Mac, Windows, and all. So you can run it on ARM, you can run it on 86 if you're not running 64-bit, or you can run 64-bit. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna click and you're gonna download it. Okay, that's all you're gonna do. And then I'm not gonna bore you with all the details of installing this. If something happened and it didn't download, you got a direct link right here. You got to check some right here. If this is Latin to you, if it did not download up here in the top right, if it did not go to your download folder, go ahead and click on this link right here and let it re-download, or you can copy it and go to it in a web page. But let me get this installed and I'll be right back. All right, so I have that installed now. So now on the same page though, so you install that real quick. I suggest always starting with that one first. Now you can go to Git. So when you go to Git, come here, get your latest Git, or if you want a standalone installer, you can do a standalone installer, 32-bit or 64-bit. So, but to get it over with, you can just click download here, and it's the latest one, which is 2.47.1. I don't go through any of the major settings. I just, whatever's default, I said next, and I'm done. Right. So next, we're going to go to install the bat file. So we're going to come here and we're going to download and install this bat file. So you want to store it somewhere you want to install, not program files, and run it. So I'm going to click on this. It's going to download it for me. And then I'm going to move it now, because I don't like nothing running on my main drive. In case something happens, I like to have it on a separate drive. So I'm going to go to my downloads. I'm going to copy or cut this. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to my D drive. I'm going to go ahead and paste it here. As you see, I got Forge in here. I got Focus in here, Comfy in here. I got a few. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to click it. It's going to tell you, hey, this could harm your computer. Stop. A lot of these are going to tell you that because Windows don't want you running a lot of stuff on Windows. So I'm just going to hit run anyways. Again, we can minimize this and go back to our main page. So it should open the command prompt itself. If it closes, it's here. It will place an icon for you to relaunch. Yes, because now it's going to go ahead and open up Git, because you got to do all that before it will open it. Follow the instruction page. After you submitted, be patient. Some of the installation progresses might take forever, like literally, sometimes they might. So now this is what it's doing. It is going through and it is installing everything that it needs to install. All right, the source specified has already been added to the list available from the sources. Provide a unique source. So let it just do its thing. Sometimes when you're putting multiple of these AI programs in, Git and Python and Anaconda and stuff, sometimes they're doubling over sometimes. So don't freak out about that at all. All right, so now Swarm's done installed, right? So now we have Swarm installed. So you read through this. Don't just take my word for it. You be smart. You read through this. So I'm going to agree my install path. Let's do custom. And because I want to start mine up, I'm going to select whatever I want. Just my PC, or if you want LAN access, however you want it, hit next. For new users, install one now, okay, which is ComfyUI, which is what we're going to be running. This is just another way to run Comfy. It can be a lot easier, especially when it comes to your loras and some other stuff. So, Stable Diffusion, you can install all of this. So me, I'm going to install Flux Dev, Flux Schnell, Stable Diffusion 3.5. Stable Diffusion 3.5 release October 2024 is a large 8 billion parameter model requiring a powerful GPU. Competitive quality close to Flux 1 Dev. So basically, this is going to be almost equivalent as Dev up here, but it's just a little bit larger. Sometimes even me on a 4090, we can have a little bit of restrictions. So I'm actually going to install everything. I want base everything. This is Stable Diffusion XL is an older one, right? But I still want it. So we're going to hit next. And it says you selected modern dark theme, just yourself, and then it's going to confirm yes. So I'm gonna let all this install real quick, and I'll be right back. And we'll go through the next steps after this, because this is gonna take just a minute, because there's 9 things to download, or 9 steps it has to do, and then download all those checkpoint models. All right, so here we have it. This is Swarm right here. I'm going to take me out of the equation over here for a minute. Here's what your models. So welcome to Swarm. Please select the model and the models below. So we can choose a model down here. So now these are the models that we have, right? These are the ones that we started with whenever we first installed. So pretty easy, you know, and then it shows you what they are. So say we want to do dev, right? So this is the model here. So now type in your prompt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go to Civic AI, and I'm going to get me an image over here that I want to see to do. Let's see here. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and click on models here. Come here for filters. I don't need LTX. We want flux. We're going to do flux Schnell. All right. So let's do this one right here. That other one looks pretty cool, right? Which one do we want to do? That's an interesting picture, right? I like that one right there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab this here, everything but the lore. We're going to copy that there. We're going to come back here, and then we're going to paste it right here. Okay, hit generate and see what it does. You know, we haven't messed with nothing else so far. Nothing else has been messed with. So we're going to see how everything works. We can go ahead and pull up the command prompt right here, terminal. So remember, the first time you run an image, it takes your longest. And there we go. We see up at the top right that it started. And now it's making that image. And again, I left 20 steps, and I mean, we're on Schnell, so this actually is not going to turn out, because we need to change all this over here for our parameters, right? I got to change that to 4, and I think scaling, my scale needs to be down to 3. Let's see what they have here. See if they show. So their guidance is 1.5 with 4 is what they have there. So yeah, see, so it didn't come out nothing. So now if we take this to 4, and then bring this down to 1.5, and now generate that. Let's see what happens. I can already see it. I mean, it's automatically. Remember, you got to remember everything. Look at that. that right there, that's incredible. So now here's the image that we started from. Here's the image that we got. That is really, really good, right? I mean, I'm not just saying that just to say that. So now I can actually save this image. I'm gonna go to my downloads, save. We're gonna go ahead and come here, go to my downloads, and there's the image right there. Go ahead and close that down. And I mean, that is really and truly very fast there, everything. So now we can adjust our resolution. I want 16 by 9. That's where I'd like mine to be. And then we can come in here and we can generate. Again, very simple, very easy. You can be done. But remember, for my other video, you still got to install Anaconda. You still got to install stuff. Look at that. That is awesome looking. All right. Can I change my resolution itself? Widescreen custom, right? So now we want custom because I want 1920. I want to put 1920 by 1080. So let's do 1920, and then we're gonna do 1080. Let's see how fast this goes for this. Go ahead and generate that. And again, you got loras down here that you can put in. Of course, our models. So there's so many different things that we can do. It does take just a little bit longer since I put a different um, dimension in. I want all mine to be in 1080, right? I want mine high definition. Now I can bring this into an upscaler, but I mean, most things on YouTube or most things that we do is between 1080 and 4K. So this right here is 100% sufficient. So again, so now that we have Civic AI, right? So say I want a lore. So let's go here. Let's go ahead and back up. We're going to go ahead and go to models. We're going to go ahead and go to filter, and we're going to do lore. So we're going to go ahead and lore for Snell, right? Because that's what we're using right now. So say we want to change it to this style right here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to download this. I'm going to right click, save the link as, and now I'm going to go find Swarm, and then models, Lora, and then we're going to save it right here. So now that's saved there, right? But look, nothing's here yet, right? So what we got to do is we actually got to close out of this and we got to reboot it. So let's go here, shut down server, update and restart server. Okay, so it's in your server. So we're going to update and restart it. If you're ever lagging around, you can also come here to server and see how much RAM you're using, what your temperature of your video card, how much system RAM. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this stuff takes a lot of system RAM. Everyone always talks about how big of a video card you need. You actually need some pretty good desktop RAM too. You can get it done on 16 gigs, but man, I struggle on 32. I'm fixing I can go up to 90 something gigs. I'll just minimize that for now. So now here's that, and now here's a lore, right? So now if I choose this lore, the lore added right here. So we're model, flux Schnell, and then our lore. Now let's generate it. See what happens out of that right there. Remember, we added an anime style lore to it. And of course, if we come down here to here, it tells us what we're doing. We can also come over here to server and wait for this to take off and see what our temps are and how much RAM we're using. So 20%, 83% of my video card and 70% of my actual RAM. And it's still making it. Again, we can come here, 70, 80. So I need more system RAM for sure doing all this. But anyways, come here, go back to generate. And now look at the style. So that's what a lore does. So a lore comes in here and it will put in the style of lore that you want. Swarm is really, really easy. And it doesn't matter what you do. And remember, certain things that you do in here or in Pinocchio, the more that you put in, say Pinocchio, so you have focus, you have comfy, you have all that. Whenever you download something, it automatically puts them in the files. And oh, excuse me, and uses it all for everything that's in there. So let's go ahead and go back over here real quick. So we can close that. Again, we can choose another lore. You can also do other models, for instance. So let's go to models. Let's take Laura off, and we're going to do checkpoint. Okay, and what we're looking for, uh, let's see here. Trained is where we really want it to be at. So why I download a couple of these loras, I'm going to go ahead and download this one out here. And again, I'm going to save the link as, we're going to go back to models. We're going to go back to, I believe it's going to be stable diffusion in here. So here's flux. This is a base flux. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it here because here's our dev and here's our Schnell. We're going to save it right there because this is based off of flux. Okay, and like I said, over here on Civic AI, you can come back over here to models because remember, we do have Stable Diffusion XL installed. So instead of hitting these flux buttons, now we're going to look for Stable Diffusion XL. All right, so I downloaded those other models. And also right here, whenever you install Swarm, you don't have to do nothing. It will also make a desktop icon as well. So now we're just going to double click it. And I mean, it's very, very quick. Backends are still loading, so it's going to load it because you're going through backend. It is still local. You're nothing but local on here. So I went and created a couple of other little gens while I was playing around and eating lunch in between that. Wow, look at that detail prompt. That's a detailed prompt right there. All right, so we're going to copy that. We're going to come back over here. We're going to go ahead and the models that I put in. So now I have dark picture. I have my flux, my Schnell. I have Moxie fusion, and then of course the two stable diffusions, right? So we're gonna go here and we're gonna go ahead and put in that major one on there. We are on dark, which is roughly around 20 to 30 steps. So I'm gonna go ahead and change this to 20. We're gonna go ahead and do 1024 by 1024 just so this can go a little bit quicker. So remember, I mean, everything all works the same, and the more that you put the same files in one folder, the more that folder is going to increase. So what I mean by that is, if I come here to my drive here, I have ComfyUI right here, and if I click over it, hover over it, I have 437 gigs in my Comfy folder, and right now for Swarm, I have 87 gigs. But a lot of these checkpoints and everything here in Comfy, underneath my models, I can come to my checkpoints. Look at all these. This right here, just my checkpoints here, is 94. So, I mean, you're going to start eating up space, but look at that. Wow. That is really, really good, and that's the image that we got. So a little bit different of an image. That looks more like a mouse hybrid bear. So let's go ahead and generate it one more time. Remember that first one, because I just loaded in, took the longest. And now we come back up. We know he's opened up terminal and see anything that's coming in here, right? Remember, you can go to server and you can see how much RAM that you're eating. So my video card, I'm at 45 degrees. Water cooled at that. I'm using 99%, 100% of my vCore and 81% of my memory. So go back to Gen. So again, I mean, these are producing some really, really good images. And I can, of course, make this go a lot quicker. We're going to do square for the next one. So now there's that. Again, really nice, vibrant, clean image, let's go ahead and throw this one in here. Control V. Go ahead and generate this one. This one should go a little bit quicker because it's, the smaller resolution, you're going to get a better or faster image generation out of it. But I use a lot for YouTube, so I want all mine to be in 16:9. And then, of course, it tells you underneath what we're doing, what model we have, what seed we have, what steps we have. We have everything right here. And don't forget, oh, look at that. That is, wow. I don't know what that was. But there is Civic AI's, and then there is the one that we just did. Let me show you something else that some people get confused about. All right, so this right here says 12-step flux plus distilled, right? So if I take this and I come back over here and I generate it, this is what I got. That's nowhere near what it was. you still got to download this right here. So you got to download this merge checkpoint. That way it comes out like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to download this real quick and I'm going to show you, and I'm going to kill the video there. All right. So whenever you come in here and you're going to run it, it's going to start downloading some stuff if you're missing. Sometimes it'll do it, sometimes it won't. You just have to know. So right now it's downloading the T5 XXL right now is what it's doing right now. I already put it in my files. I do have 2 of them though right here. So this one here, and this is where you got to learn some of them. So for me, if I go back over to my Swarm folder, y'all see me put it into my checkpoints earlier. Or excuse me, my Stable Diffusion is where I put it. I put it in here with the flux. It doesn't belong here. So I will be deleting this one here out. It actually belongs in diffusion models. So you're going to have to learn which ones go where. So if you put something into, say, Stable Diffusion or even in Comfy, if you put it into your models folder, maybe it doesn't belong there. You might have to go put it into your Stable Diffusion folder instead, or diffusion models instead. So, and that's what I had to do on this case here, because this one does not work there. Remember, this is a merge node. It's not a trained mode. So we're merging a couple of them together. So as soon as it's all done downloading, we'll go from there and we'll see what it looks like. But again, downloading complete, and now there it goes. So I'll go ahead and leave it up for a sec. I'm supposed to be at 12 steps and I'm at 19. So let's go to 12. And there we go. We can already see that it's saying 12 steps right now. And remember, this is the image that we got was right here. 12 steps flux plus distilled. And that's what it's creating, is that right there. Where the one that we had before that didn't even do nothing of such in there. So if we go ahead and generate it one more time, see if it would put it in that, because in here it says, it's supposed to say 12 steps flux shuttle plus the distilled together. So this one looks like it is going to say it as well here. So yes, there we go. So 12 steps, 12 plus steps flux shuttle, whatever that other word is, plus distilled. Again, it is just it is AI. It can take you a couple of times. Looks like this one is actually going to shuttle plus distill. So there we go. So that's more on the line of this one right here. So we can get text as well in here, just like you would anything else. So yes, that one actually works. And again, we can come in here and they probably have a lore too that they used. No, they only used the checkpoint. So I don't see no lore whatsoever in here. So it's just this checkpoint. All right, so the last thing, and we'll wrap this up, is this is still ComfyUI, even though you're not physically messing with the nodes. But now say you do want to mess with the nodes. Come over here to Comfy and click on it. So you can come over here. I've already been in here a little bit. You can come in here and now you can mess around in here. So let me go to Schnell, photo of a Arabian woman. Come here. Actually, this is another one from this one here. So we're going to go ahead and do this 12-step one, 12 and 2, and then hit Q. So again, you can still come in here. You can still bring in workflows, and you get look. So the text encoder is not here, right? Or this could be the clip text is not in here. So what do? We don't have a manager to go install the missing nodes, right? So that's what we're fixing to do right now. If you haven't seen my other video, in my other video, I show you how to do Anaconda and install all that in my other video. So same thing, we have the Comfy Manager here, right? So now we got to come down here and we got to find the Comfy Manager. And that's how we're going to install it the same way I did with the standalone ComfyUI. So let me go ahead and copy the whole link, and boom, there we go. We're getting a it's done now, but we're getting a menu now, or a manager for Comfy. So go ahead and close that out. You can close that out. You can go ahead and close this out. Yes, we're going to leave. And then we're going to close down the terminal window, and then we're going to reopen Swarm. So now when we go back in here, all right, so now that we're back in here, sometimes you got to wait just a little bit for the back end to open up for it to fully open. So go ahead and go to Comfy Workload and check it out. Now we have this menu button, or should I say, I keep saying menu, but it's a manager button. All right, so again, you can come into manager, you can find missing nodes. You can come here and find custom nodes. No different than a regular Comfy UI because this is still Comfy UI no matter what. So the other thing is that you're gonna have to do is you're still gonna have to use um, certain text encoders and everything else. So again, I'll leave the link down in the description. I have it right here. This is same thing from my first video. You need to download all of this stuff right here. Okay. And you need to copy it into your Swarm folder. So in the Swarm folder, where we're going to go is, let me go here. So you're going to open up wherever your Swarm is. Okay. And then you're going to go to backdoor or back end. Okay. So, because you can go to models here and then you have some here as well. So, again, this is for the actual swarm itself. But to go into Comfy, go to back end, go to ComfyUI, and then go to models. Now, here's all your models right here. Here's all your models, just like it was before. You have everything right here, your text encoders, everything. Everything's right here. Okay, so what you can do now is you can go ahead and go to your Comfy file. So if you like Swarm better, which I really like Swarm. So one thing to me that makes Swarm a lot better is um, coming into generation. Look, I have all this down here. I have all um, my models, my VAEs, my loras. Everything is here. It's more organized in here, right? So I can just literally just grab it and go. And especially with being like this and pulling something off of Civic AI, it makes it so much easier. So you're not doubling up a lot of your checkpoints and everything else. What I would do, and what I actually do, is I'm come here to Comfy UI, and then I'm going to go to my models, and then here's all my models, right? So I'm just gonna come in here and everything's already installed in here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to, oh crap, that's not what I said. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this, copy all this, copy, and then we're going to back up and we're going to go back into Swarm. We're going to go into the back door, go to ComfyUI, models, and then all we're going to do is we're going to paste it in here. So however fast your computer is, again, I mean, I have right at 500 gigs in here. So doing it twice, that's over a terabyte, that's a terabyte of space that I am wasting right now that I should not have to waste. So I'll come in here, do this, and then I'll delete ComfyUI, or actually I'm going to repack it because remember, it is a portable. So you can re-zip it up, put it on a thumb drive, and unpack it on a different computer, or unzip it. So let me go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you this the last bit of how everything's just works like it's supposed to, just as it was in Comfy. All right, so here we are. So I hover over it, over Swarm, and I have 565 gigs in here. So let's go ahead and reopen up Swarm. Again, it's really quick. I mean, it's very responsive. So again, once you load it up, it takes us a minute for that back end to load the server. So it's loading everything onto your computer. Your computer is the server now. So we can go to models, VAs, come over here to Comfy now. And now here's everything that I just copied. Everything is already here. Go back to Civic AI. Again, we can take whatever. Let's take this one here. Click on this. Click the prompt. Grab the prompt without the lore, because that's what the first one is. That's their lore. So we're going to go ahead and copy there. Come here. We're going to copy it, paste it here, and then we're going to go ahead and queue it. And again, I mean, it's super quick, super easy, depending on what you're doing. So that's the image that we get. I mean, AI is fun. I mean, if you can learn it to make money, is even better. But just to do it to have fun is really, really cool. I mean, look at that. That's a pretty cool image. I just pulled that off of Civic AI. That's what it's supposed to be. So if I come here and actually do, let's say, let's go to dev, go ahead and queue that up. All right, so I switched it to dev and I forgot to switch it to 30 steps and 3 on my CFG. Go ahead and queue that one more time and see what we get, because obviously that wasn't it. It's kind of a scary looking bug right now. There we go. So, I mean, again, I can take the same prompt though, come over here to the generator, go ahead and put it in here, paste it here, and generate. And you might find in here does a little bit better than in ComfyUI. So now here in the generate, that actually came out a lot, I mean, a lot cleaner. I mean, that's a lot cleaner of an image. There's our original, or what we copied from Civic. Check that out. I mean, that's a really, really good picture. I mean, look at the skin tone on the human hand down there. That is insane. But yeah, now, all in all, Swarm is pretty cool. If you just want something quick, easy, you're not really wanting to really learn comfy UI, but you want to get into it a little bit and learn a little bit, I believe Swarm is for you and what it is. But anyways, I'm Thomas with Tomology. I like to bring a lot of reviews. I like to bring a lot of stuff out, stuff on AI that I've been learning, make it easy for people to understand. Uh, there's so much that I want to get accomplished. There's things of the computer that helps you out on your computer. So again, like and subscribe. Go ahead and look up at the top right hand or left hand corner. I'll have another video. See if that's worth your hard earned money here in 2025. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.